ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Skyrim. We're continuing on with Sarah's endeavor. The last episode, we killed an innocent woman for the glory of a day, to gain the attention of a Daedric Prince Boethia, and then she had us kill her entire cultist. All for her to decide that we would be the one to replace her champion by going and killing her current champion and taking the ebony mail from him. To say that this has gone a much darker route than I thought Sarah's tale would go is probably not an understatement. I never expected Sarah to go this route, but I also have been letting Skyrim kind of run its course. When I play D&D and things like this happen, I usually say I'm letting the dice fall where they may. Character ends up going a lot darker than I was expecting, then that's just how the fates decided it. Surprisingly, the goddess of fate in my D&D worlds is actually named Vermina, after the Daedric Prince Vermina. Remove it, whatever. I'm trying to figure out, I think I need to go around this mountain, because we're obviously not making any progress here. But yeah, I'm not saying that this is the characters that I imagined when I played this game, when I started this. I had a feeling she was going to eventually become corrupted by power. I had a feeling she would eventually be pushed in a direction of a more darker and more personal path. I didn't expect it to be that she would go around killing innocent people who have nothing to do with the situation just so that she can have apparently a hungry stomach. Which actually, I'm actually hungry IRL, although it's too late right now for me to do anything about that. But I don't really have much to say on the fact that this is where her story is going, and I feel like it has followed it in with a good understanding of it. She became obsessed with adventuring. She became obsessed with finding artifacts, and some of those artifacts started having negative effects on her. Now she's just obsessed with collecting items of power. It's not surprising that another Daedric artifact is pushing her in the direction of getting yet another Daedric artifact. There is another Daedric artifact we could go get. I decided to. It is quite a distance away and probably not one that we would use because it is another weapon, and I don't see her using another weapon. Not a sword, but a mace. But I haven't decided if we're going to go after it yet. Apparently they're trying to... Now, she technically did say to... Okay. Oh, he got hit by one of the boulders. Burn that guy alive. Now, Boethia, when she requested that we do this, wanted us to mention doing it in cold blood and doing it silently. There's no difference if you do it like this or if you do it like that. There's literally no difference between the two. So I don't really go about that. I more of take the thought process of her doing it in cold blood of she doesn't really have a lot of reasons to do this. She doesn't know these people. She doesn't have any disagreements with these people. All she knows is that this Daedric Prince doesn't like them anymore and wants her to kill them. Or doesn't like their leader. But I do feel like she is just going to get this done. It's a chore that she must complete to gain another artifact of power. And I do believe that she is now becoming basically an artifact hunter. She is. And Umbra is empty again. I did think about adding a mod, looking for a mod that would make, that would change how the soul gem system works, but I ended up not actually. Well, I didn't look long enough to find anything of use. Sometimes I forget that if I hit shift, it doesn't make me run, it does the exact opposite. It's alt that makes me run. Yep. Oh, did he fall off? Yeah, he fell off. I could be carrying the black soul gem, some of my black soul gems in order to get more soul gems from souls from them, but I'm not going to do that, and I don't want to go in there while I'm tired. Alright, let's kill off. We've killed off all the bandits out here, so I'm going to consider this to be relatively safe. Just don't want to be blurry vision while we're in there. Oh, we're also going to level up. She just, I think she just rests on Umbra and focuses her energy for a little while. Now, as far as what we will be putting it into, we could put it into heavy armor. It would increase our defense rating. Or I could put it into two-handed, which is an option. To have my weapon, to have Umbra do a little bit more damage. That's always a possibility. That's a very tempting possibility. This spell scribe was... Okay, yeah, that was not the one I was looking at. Let's go ahead and go with two-handed. Make Umbra a little bit more powerful. Alright. Oh, wow, that rusted her pretty well. I didn't expect 3 hours to get her that much. I was literally just trying to take the edge off. I do feel like she probably needs to get to a point where she's going to start resting better, probably taking better care of herself.
Time to end this little game. No!
It was a suit of armor that I wanted her to get eventually, so it is. We are still working on the good decisions of, well, not the good decisions, but we are still working on some of the decisions I would have made eventually anyways. Or how we were going to go about getting the sacrifice. I expected it to be an innocent woman, or the fact that it was a woman who didn't want to sacrifice an innocence, and instead we chose to sacrifice her. Period. Kind of hoping there'd be another explanation of what's going on here. I mean, obviously they had him in prison and they were forcing him to mine up the iron ore for them. Either from exhaustion or from other means, he eventually succumbed. Die already. Sheesh. Hello. Is this locked? Yes, this is locked. What? Oh, please don't hit me with fire while I'm running through here. What the flip? Why are they fighting each other? No, we didn't even get to talk to the champion of Boethia. just wanted to get one more mining session in before he died. I can understand. I can respect that. Well, I can respect that. That doesn't mean that we're not going to kill him. But we did ask us to kill them all. I will admit that this isn't really much of a villain arc. Sarah doesn't really have much of a... It doesn't really have much of an interesting story. I can understand how, if this was an anime, there'd probably be a lot of fans going, what the flip? But it's not an anime. It's me playing a video game, so it's kind of like my thought process on it. What do we have? Ebony gauntlets, ebony boots, an ebony shield, an iron sword of souls, poor imitation of Umbra, and of course the ebony mail. You're able to move quickly. You're able to move quietly, and opponents that get too close to you or poison damage receive poison damage. So yes, this is the ebony mail. Now, if you think about what I look like, so let's take a look real quick. This is what I look like in ebony armor. This is ebony armor. Now, there's a reason why I like ebony mail, and we're about to see what the difference is. So if I put the ebony mail on, we'll notice it's a lot thinner, it's a lot more close, bluethed. We notice that the shroud actually works really well with that. Wow, I've never actually seen the shroud with it. And it's got like the chainmail skirt. It's got like, it's really nice. I like the design of this. One of the effects that I think is kind of annoying, but kind of interesting. We go smoky if we are crouched. This is the stuff. This armor does not take the negative penalty of stealthing in heavy armor. That normally you get a penalty towards your stealth when you're stealthing in heavy armor. That does not happen with this. So it makes it really good armor for thief characters. In that direction? It's in this direction? A little to the right. See, I can't tell which way the pick is breaking, because I've been told that if you pay attention to the direction of the pick breaking, it's literally right in the center. Close to the center, though. It's a little to the right, maybe. Right. There we go. Still over 99 lockpicks. And... not great. Not terrible, but not great. Cheese. Gotta love the cheese. This the way out? I don't know what the way out of this place is. I think it's that door down there, but let's check up here real quick. Because I know that, I think this is where he was originally until he came down. Normally he's sitting in this room and you can talk to him, but we had to fight him. Which, in truth, I wasn't going to talk to him either way. Ooh, a silver mask. And some Vardenfell glass gauntlets. Interesting. Any of that stuff. There's nothing there of interest. I thought maybe he might have a journal or something up here. But I guess not. Which doesn't matter to me either way. I was hoping he'd have a journal and we'd have like an information about like what happened between him and Boethia that made Boethia distrust him. Like, did he just become too... Like, does Boethia just get bored of her champions eventually? I guess that would make sense. one big thing I can say about Daedric princes is that it's never really a good idea to work with them. I mean, I say that and I'm choosing to work with a Daedric prince. But I also see it as Sarah is not choosing to work with a Daedric prince, she's choosing to use the Daedric princes. She has multiple of their weapons now. I mean, like the armor we're wearing is Daedric prince. The sword we have is a Daedric prince. We have several other items that are from Daedric princes. I think even Magnus counts as a Daedric prince. We have his staff. We have access to conjuring his eye. Not to mention he has Aetherius magic, which I'm guessing is like what initially started this entire problem. Thanks to Aetherius magic and the fact that she was a vampire, she started going down this route. It'd actually be interesting to, like, if I'm not going to make one because I don't have the time nor skills to make one, but I think it'd be really interesting to start from like episode 1 of this story and like get a chance to see all of like the different stages Sarah took. See her go from being that young pilgrim girl to... We might be doing a lot of remembrance today, just because I'm in the mood to do a bunch of remembrance of where she was, of where she's come from, just from what I remember myself. And apparently there might be more bandits out here. There are more bandits out here. That is why Boethia hasn't talked to us yet. Or I thought we just had.
Fall back.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
You have done well, my champion. You have earned my respect, a feat few manage and live to tell about. I shall write your name upon the tablet of absolute darkness. You may keep my ebony mail, a token of my appreciation to my new champion. Its gifts will resonate with your talents. Now go. I have strings to pull that require my full attention. You may pursue your own course wherever it leads you.
That's the other thing about this that I think is interesting to point out. One thing to point out is, like, we are helping...
Remember always this. As you will it, so it shall be.
One of the things that's been noticed about Skyrim and has been brought up before is the fact that, like, we have helped multiple Daedric princes. Like, I just mentioned how we have multiple Daedric princes that we've been backed by because we have multiples of their artifact. We have the Ring of Hearsing, we have the Daedric Bay, we have the Ebony Mail, we have Umbra, we have the Mask of Clevicus Vile, we have the Staff of Magnus, if you can count that as a Daedric Prince item. We're going to gain even more of them. The question starts to become, why are all the Daedric Princes willing to throw their points in with Sarah? What would be the reasoning? And I think that the biggest answer there is that Sarah is more than just Dragonborn. I think the reason she is Dragonborn is because that's just Akatosh throwing his points in with us, or Kyne, if you take Kyne's word being the word of dragons. Akatosh is the dragon god. Kyne was who taught the words to the Greybeards, which we'll find out when we go talk to the Greybeards, if we ever go talk to the Greybeards. I say if because at this point I've tried to go see the Greybeards a couple of times and still never gone to them. So, yeah. What was this? It's a spadefish. I'll take it. But she's had but she's a lot of the, in a sense of the word, gods of this realm have thrown their lot in with her when they've gotten the opportunity. Oh, we also have Meridia's sword, the Dawnbreaker. Like, we have a lot of Daedric artifacts, and we're going to get more of them. I'm under the impression it's because they know how important Sarah is. They know that she'll change the world. And in my head, my lore kind of what's going on in this situation. Valmore. Prisoner. Had enough of this.
If you know any true
You're
sons
free.
and daughters of Skyrim, tell them to head to Windhelm. Ulfric Stormcloak wants to see them.
Now, let's talk about what we just did. Why I decided to do that. Why Sarah chose to do that. Sarah has always hated the Thalmor. Sarah has had a dislike for the Thalmor longer than this story has been going on. We don't really talk about her past much. I've mentioned the fact that her father was a lich, that her mother was a druid, and that the two of them lived away from Skyrim, and that their house was attacked, and her father and her mother were killed. That's not entirely the full story, though. And as far as this Sarah goes, I think I'm finally deciding on what her story is, what happened to her, why she feels the way she does about the things she does, the long end of the short of the whole thought process. Sarah's father didn't die in that attack. His body was destroyed. But as a lich, he would just reform his phylactery. He would reform and he would become whole again. But the weapon used to kill him and destroy his body did something to his soul, leaving him unable to reform himself. But he could still talk to Sarah through his soul gem. Oh, are these?
Victory is yours. I submit.
It says Thalmor prisoner, but
I'll see you.
necromancers or zombie necromancer people. I was really getting annoyed that I couldn't catch up with him. But her father survived in the fact that he could still talk to her through his. Oh, that's why it's glitched out at the bottom. Okay, but her father could still talk to her, and her father taught her magic, and her father taught her everything that she needed to know in order to take revenge on who attacked their farm and killed her mother and killed him. Eventually, she found out that it wasn't just a group of bandits. Eventually, she found out that it was a group of bandits paid by the Thalmor. Found out about her father being a worshipper of Talos, that he worshipped the Nine, not just the Eight. He worshipped all 9 of the gods.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
Oh wow, I thought she was a Stormcloak. Interesting. But they found out that he was worshipping Talos. And they sent the bandits in to kill the entire family. the bandits agreed because the bandits knew her father. She doesn't really understand how they knew her father. That's more about her father's past. That's actually part of the D&D campaign. The Thalmor, something I'm tying into this because it makes sense for her story here. But that's why she hates the Thalmor. That's why she has such a strong grudge with the Thalmor. She hates the Thalmor with every fiber of her being. And I think the reason why she just attacked those Thalmor and why she killed them was because Umbra basically pushed her to do it. Umbra could tell that she was angry. Umbra could tell how she was feeling about the situation. If I was the type of person if I had the editing skills to make a video, she would have seen them, and then I would have added in a little bit of a thing where it shows her rushing forward, her remembering what happened, seeing Thalmor paying off the bandits that killed her parents, and then having her just go into a blind fury, killing them, and just have the voice of Umbra, because I'd have Umbra whispering to her in her ears constantly, and basically have the voice of Umbra basically saying, "They killed your parents. They did all of this. You have the power now. Take your revenge." Can I help you guys?
You picked a bad time to get lost, friend.
More bandits. Might also explain why she has a thing for bandits. Why she hates bandits. I need to recharge Umbra again. Not super worried about it because I'm fighting against humans and I don't have any black soul. Get off the stump. I don't have any black soul gems, so I can't get their souls anyways. But I do need to recharge Umbra. But I think that's what the reason why she hates the Thalmor is I think that they paid for her parents to die. And she's obviously never going to forgive them for that. Well, guys, black soul gems left. I really need to get like the Star of Azura or something to start recharging her the gem or Umbra with that. That or I need to carry a lot more black soul gems on me. That's fine. But yeah, I think she's starting to give in to the hate that Umbra is feeding her soul. One thing about Sarah, in the D&D campaign at least, is that she had what was known as a negative conduit, and this manifested as another personality inside of her. Eventually it was actually separated in the campaign, in the D&D campaign, and given to, and it was made for her to have,
Damn you.
and it was made for her to have a, basically had like a twin sister. I have Hunterborn installed, which I think is hilarious that I have Hunterborn installed because I wanted Hunterborn installed, but like thanks to having Hunterborn installed, I've done a lot less of.
Please don't kill me.
Not trying to kill. Why is everybody suddenly hating me? Just like the blood rage of Sarah is just like making her think everything is against her. It's possible, but she did spend. But in that she had the negative conduit, and the negative conduit made her darker every once in a while. She would get into this really dark mood, and she would become really full of hate towards everything around her because of this dark conduit inside of her. As far as the Sarah goes, I think Umbra is feeding into that darkness within her heart. It's feeding into the hate she has towards the Thalmor, the hate she has towards bandits. And so she's going to start just losing herself to a blind rage. I don't know if she'll go werewolf all the time, although I do want to have her start using her werewolf form. Because I feel like she hasn't done that enough, and I feel like I want to do that more because I do need to get more points. Um, it makes it really interesting to me that like part of me wonders, like, I don't want to do the Stormcloaks because I don't personally agree with the Stormcloak thought process. I think it's a terrible idea for Skyrim to break away from the Empire because the Empire is not going to be, because Skyrim by itself is not going to be enough to fight the Thalmor. It's going to have to be the Empire and the Skyrim together. But I also understand why it would seem. I can now say I understand why she's having such a difficult time choosing to team up with the Empire, or choosing to team up with the Imperials, because they are kind of bending the knee to the Thalmor. Like, she doesn't want to do that either. She doesn't want to kill. She doesn't want to break the Empire because the Empire is all together would be the only thing strong enough to fight against the Thalmor. Oh, so their camp is like right there. I think I've passed this game a handful of times, walking this path. This becoming a path that Sarah is seeing a lot. But I can understand like why she would be against the Imperials. Also, she doesn't want to team up with the Thalmor, but she doesn't want to team up with the Stormcloaks because she knows that a broken empire will not give good points towards them. Which, out of character, if you this has all been out of character, but out of what Sarah knows and what the story of Sarah's story is, there's actually a lot of evidence to show that the Thalmor want the Empire and the Stormcloaks to keep fighting, and they don't want them to have a resolution to their combat, because as long as they're fighting each other, they can't fight the Thalmor. So it actually makes a lot of sense that Sarah would probably just be like, I just want to see an end to this war. I'm sick and tired of seeing everyone kill each other. I'm sick and tired of seeing how this is going. I want just an end to the war. Which makes a lot of sense.
By order of the Jarl, stop right there.
I'd rather die than go to prison. I'm not... Really? A bounty of 40 gold? Is this because I attacked the Thalmor? Probably. They deserve to die. You can die too, but I'm not going to prison.
Time to cleanse the Empire of its filth. Please, someone do something.
Well, just had more of the Empire's filth, proving to her why she won't be joining the Empire anytime soon. There goes my thoughts that maybe she was starting to think that it was a good idea.
Keep away. If I am harmed, people will come looking.
Do you think I care? No. 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 I don't think she wants to kill him. I think there's a part of her that's being pushed in that direction. I think that she's giving in to Umbra's hate a lot more than she was initially noticing. I think that right there was like her kind of like pushing back on the fog of hatred. Again, if I was one for editing videos and making this as good as I wish it was, I probably would have had the screen darkening. I would have had her hearing the whispers. The Empire is faulty. The Stormcloaks are faulty. Everyone is faulty. They all should die. And like just constantly telling her that nobody is right and that she should just cleanse it all. And then, like right as she's about to do that, her vision suddenly clears and she pushes back on herself, saying that she can't do this, that she's not going to give in to this. I'm hoping that... I wish I could tell... I don't really know if there's a way. It might be able to find it in general stats. Let's see. moles, werewolf transformations, vampire cures, next bitten, days as a werewolf, days as a vampire. Really? Wow. Locations discovered, 150, wow. Dungeons cleared, days passed. Days passed is 50. Wow, she has not been here for very as long as I would have thought. Standing stones found, gold found, bust gold carried, chest looted, skills increased, books read, food eaten, training sessions, books read, houses owned, horses owned, houses owned. So the metal horse and the clockwork castle don't count there. I'm looking to see if I can find out. Okay, here's crime. Fulcreath bounty is 1,040. Total lifetime bounty is 1,040. Highest bounty is 1,040. 64 assaults, 2 murders. So, is it because she killed the Thalmor that she's got this bounty now? Huh. I wasn't really paying attention. I might need to watch this back and watch when she's killing the Thalmor to figure out if the Thalmor is the reason why she has Fulcreath bounty now, but there's a good chance she's not going back to Fulcreath for a while. Now, that says Fulcreath bounty. Yeah, Fulcreath bounty. So I'm wondering if it would tell me if I had... So I wonder if it's just because I don't have a bounty in any of the other regions, that it doesn't have any of the other regions. Or if it just tells you which region you have the highest bounty in. It's interesting, though, that she's gone this long without doing much crime, and now she's... Well, I can understand why. I can also understand why the Empire and why Fulcreath might have taken an interest. I know that one of the bits of information that I have because of dialogue in the game, Preventus mentions the fact that when the Earl of Whiterun wants to send, Earl of Orgriff wants to send troops to Riverwood to help them with the dragon when you first find out about the dragons. Honeystrand Cave. When? He mentions the fact that the Jarl of Falkreath would see that as a provocation that they're about to join the different side and attack him. So he's obviously an Imperial ally. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not very good at knowing which side each of the holds are on. But that obviously means that Falkreath is Imperial, which means that the Thalmor would be in line with them, because the Imperials are working with the Thalmor. Not by choice, but the Thalmor and the Imperials are kind of working together. And I think that that's where... So that makes sense why the Imperials would see it as... Why Falkreath would see it as a problem that she killed the Thalmor, and why an Imperial guard felt it was his job to deal with it. Now, I do think it's kind of funny that that was the escort of the noble. So, like, she could have easily have... I mean, like, I would see, like, he's the escort of the noble, so, like, wouldn't that come first before trying to get some random criminal brought in? I also wonder where he would have taken her. Like, would she have ended up in the Falkreath jail if I had agreed? If I had said I'd submit and go to jail, you can take me to jail. Because I didn't even realize he would be able to do that. So that's interesting that the first guard that tried to arrest her and failed was an Imperial escort for a noble. I guess one argument for it, if you kind of want to have an argument for why it went the way it did, or why he was willing to say that for his current job he's going to deal with this, is that he's works for full. He actually is like a full Creek guard. The Dwarven Converter. I know what that's for, but I did not realize there was one here. I can see Sarah trying to disappear for a while to try and figure out what's going on. I don't know if she's going to. I don't think she will. I think she'll just continue on as is. Won't go back to Falkreath for a while. Is that a dog? Is that a random dog? It is a random dog. How about you go back home? Now wait a minute, that said it said my pet heads back home. Wait a minute. Do I have like... I apologize, but every time something in this game happens that I'm not expecting, I get confused by it. Is there like... Because I swear I have the spell, something like Summon Thistle or Call Thistle or Teleport Pet Thistle. I was wondering if like I had now like Teleport Pet Stray Dog. Where are you? Can I like heal you? Because like, you seem like you're pretty freaked out right now. I wish I could talk to him again. Because I think the other option was wait here, but I'm gonna be really mad if I look back on that and the other option was like join me or something like that, because I'd love to have had a dog. I know where I can get a dog. I know I can get a dog in Markarth. But according for me to go get a dog in Markarth, I have to go to Markarth. I don't feel like going all the way to Markarth. I actually don't know what we're going to do after we turn this quest in. I might check my quest logs and see if there's anything that we haven't done yet. Maybe we should go see the Greybeards. Maybe it's the dragon's souls that are causing a problem. Maybe this is why they wanted to see me earlier, before it became a problem. Let's see Furky first. It's in the hunt.
Yes?
Defeated the Guardian Troll.
Then you finally know what it means to be a true hunter, in the Nord way. For this, you have earned the blessing of Kine, and can count me as a friend. Ah, you're not as dumb as you look. Make it quick.
Okay, I want to reload because I want to offer him his bow back. Didn't realize we weren't going to get that as an option if I just ended the quest. So let's go back.
Make it quick.
I found this bow. Is it yours?
I don't believe it. I made that bow myself. Been through some messes with it, let me tell you. You know what? I want you to keep it. My great hunts are behind me, and yours yet to come.
Thanks. I defeated the Guardian Troll.
Then you finally know what it means to be a true hunter, in the Nord way. For this, you have earned the blessing of Kine, and can count me as a friend. All right, then.
So now my curiosity is, because it said that we got Kine's token. Is that a spell effect or something else? Let's see. Blessing of Talos, Resist Disease, Alter Self, Lady Stone, Turn of Seasons. Oh, is an item. Guessing it would be in this. There it is, Kind's Token. Damage taken from animals is reduced by 10%. Bows do 5% more damage. Wow. Okay then. And then what about Furky's bow? Is it changed at all? Nope. I'm not gonna say that I don't like this quest. I'm gonna say that I'm not satisfied with its ending. Well, it wouldn't be the first time that I thought a quest was over, and it turned out I still had many more things to go with the quest, and it just kind of, this was the first part ending. I kind of hope, but I have a feeling that that's not the case. But let's grab a bite to eat real quick before we go ahead and finish up for today, or finish up for this episode. I plan on doing at least one more recording, but Sarah's gotten herself into a bit of trouble with Volkreath, and we'll be probably staying away from there for a while. So we'll probably bunk around here for a while. I know there's a lot of the Rift, or a lot of the Rift in this area that we haven't explored. So we're probably going to be doing that for a little while. But that'll be in the next episode. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.